Hi, and welcome to an episode of Utah Crossbow Hunter, where today I'm just going to be kind of bringing you an update on some stuff that I've done with my crossbows. Now, as you recall, in my last episode, we talked about the gun vise. This TIPTON best gun vise. So, yesterday, I sat here and recited, or I should say, re-leveled all my scopes. But I had added on one thing. But before we do that, I do have an apology to make to everybody, and that is on my video where I said that I had the Gillen Light and Knox, and I'll put a picture of it right up here. It's actually called Launchpad Nocturnal Universal Fit Lighted Crossbow Knox. It's actually what they are from Walmart that I have on my crossbows. The green ones. I didn't see any red ones. But like I said, it should be posted right up here. So that's an update on that, and I do apologize for giving you the wrong information on that. Now, like I said, I made the adjustments with my best gun vise here for my crossbows. I had to take off my foregrips here and adjust the width and the length of, I should say, the length of my stand here, and make some adjustments with that. So bottom line, with the crossbows, it works fantastic, and I'm very pleased with that. I had, of course, I had to take this piece off here in order to get it to work. So it worked out very, very nicely. So let me get this out of the way, and I'm going to show you something else that I got to help out. Let me just move this up here a little bit. Now I got this from Wheeler Engineering, this kit here. You want to make sure that everything in your crossbow is perfect, including this direction. You want your scope to slide in there perfectly. So I got this, let's see, it's called, so I get the right information for you here. I got it from Wheeler Engineering. It's a lathing kit, and let me show you what it comes with. Give me just 1 second here. Yeah, these are the same ones. Okay, right here it has a lock thread here. Comes with 2 levels. This little piece right here, you can hook it onto a drill, and I'll show you that here in just a second, and some bits and pieces here. A torque wrench, and then these right here, these ones, this one here, and this one here is your lathing that goes with your 220 grit sanding stuff. And then there's the size. We got a 1 inch of your lathing tools, and 1 inch, I should say 1 inch of the lathing tool, 30 millimeter lathing. Same thing with the to make sure your scope's in line. When I talk about your scope and line, I am talking about in this direction. You want your tips even. If they're off, you know, in any direction, you adjust your scope rings. When I say adjust your scope rings, you want to make sure your scope rings are square and not off at an angle. And that's what this tool here does, is to make sure that your rings are straight. And my pile driver was off just a hair, or enough it was kind of binding. And then it's got this here, which screws into here. Yep. And then you put your rings on to clean them out and grind them down to where your scope is perfect. I didn't have to do any grinding, fortunately, so that was all good. So that was a good thing. It comes with, you know, this little, what size is this? 1/2 inch for nuts that you have on your, let's see, do I have a nut on this one? No. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 screwdrivers. It's got 2 hexes and 2 stars. The adapter for here. Now the hexes that come with this do not fit any of my scopes. So I'm going to have to order the wrench kit. So I got to order that. And okay, why ain't that going back in? You get stuff in, but you can't get them out. Oh well. So this kit here, and I have the one for my rifles that so I put this on the end of my barrel to help level out my scope, along with this little bubble here. So I did 7 rifles and 3 crossbows in about 3.5 hours. Best thing to do is take your time. I took my time and to get everything perfectly the way I wanted it, so all my scopes were perfectly level. And again, I was using this Level Right Pro Master Grade Precision Reticle Level, and this thing here works really, really nice. Again, the light on it is perfect. You just got to make sure you get kind of in a dark area, not dark, but you know, area where you can see the reticles on your target there. Also, remember one of my last videos, when I was working with the Level Right, this was too long and it kind of tilted up a little bit. So I cut it down, and now it works perfectly. So you just slide it under your retention spring like so. It does still tilt up a little bit, but when you put the Level Right on there, it does kind of push it down a little bit to where it's nice and level. So that worked out perfectly. But again, I still use all my levels on my crossbows and guns now, because I like my things level. Now with the guns you can't quite get level in this direction, but it's okay. But again, I just use these levels, put it on there, made sure my gun was level, or my crossbow was level in both directions. So these things work out really, really nice. These ones here do have magnets on them, but it doesn't quite stick to these aluminum rails. So, but they do work really good on the guns. Yeah, so today was pretty much just an update on the best gun vise from TIPTON, the Wheeler engineering lathing kit to make sure your scopes inside is clean and ready to go, and you have a free movement here on your scope. But like I said, this level right, it is awesome. But one thing I did do, so that I made sure I had plenty of points of contact, is I put one of these on top of my scope. I had one of these here on my crossbow. So I had 2 points of contact here, and then had put up my level right on both ends here, and or I should say here and there. So I had basically 3 points of contact. Let me just bring this out here real quick to show you again. Because you're going to have your target here, which has a bubble right here. It's going to be on this end here, and it does come with its own little tripod. And then you got your plate here, your level here. It just slides over. Again, this just screws in. Your flashlight goes here. Oops. Flashlight goes here. You just twist in there. You just set this right on top. Let me go ahead and get my little bar here. It just goes right here on top over your scope. Just slides down. You got your level here. You turn your flashlight on, and your reticles come through on here. So that's all there is to that. So I'll post the videos, the links to the videos right up here. It shows of all my gun leveling, or I should say crossbow leveling stuff, how it works. And then I keep the box, keep everything of course in my box here, so I don't lose anything, because I have a habit of losing stuff. And it just goes right back together like so. And I just slide it back in. And again, nice thing about this is if you're going traveling, you can take this with you and keep it in your bag or whatever, and before you go out and hunt, you can make sure your scopes are nice and level before you go out. So now that I level them all up and everything, I just got to just make sure my zero is zero at 20, 30, 40 yards, which I'll do later. So, with that said, just let me give you my final thoughts here on this. This Wheeler engineering kit, this lathing kit, is awesome. Like I said, my pile driver was off just a little bit. I readjusted the rings and perfect. Like I said, I didn't have to do any lathing. I may go back later on and go ahead and do the lathing and grind them out a little bit to make it even more smoother. But that's at a later date. Right now I'm satisfied with my scopes are all mounted. The only thing I have to do is like I said, I got to get the screwdriver set so I can tighten down, make sure my scope rings are at spec. I can't do because I don't have the right hex to make sure they're nice and tight like they're supposed to be. At what I think is 16 pounds per square inch, and the one I have is just too small. I have one too small and one too big, so I'm going to have to get the toolkit. But these for your rifles, yeah, this little kit is worth its weight in gold. So you'll want to get something like this. But because you can still use this here on top of your scope. It's just a little bit bigger than this one here. So, and this is also magnetic. But again, the levelness of your scope is very, very important. Because if your scope is just off a little bit, cantered, then your shot is going to be off. And the further out you go, the worse it's going to get. Up close ain't going to be so bad. It's just going to be that closeness, but your distance is going to be so far off. So for an example, your target, let me grab a piece of paper here. So you're putting your target here. So if you're shooting at 40 yards and you're thinking your scope is level and but it's cantered, your shot may go here, 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 here. So you want to make sure that your scope is nice and level. Alright, like I said, this was just a short video on what I've done with my scopes to make sure they're nice and level and ready to go. I just got to now, I guess I just got to make sure come back out and do my zero on all my scopes to make sure they're all good. And my suspect is that they're going to be good, but you always got to make sure before you go out that everything is nice and level. So with that said, remember, family first. Take care of your family. By all means, get out there and hunt. And see you on the next episode of Utah Crossbow Hunter.